So I've had 3 or 4 people in the last week or so congratulate me on getting through 2020. And a lot of people know that I speak to large groups, and it's obviously been a very challenging year when no large groups are getting together. As I'm sure it might have been a very difficult and challenging year for you as well, but it sounded so strange to hear people congratulate me on getting through a year. And I don't think even in the years that my mother passed away and my father passed away, I don't think anyone ever congratulated me on actually getting through a year. Usually you get congratulated on finishing a race or congratulations on some achievement or some accomplishment. But in a lot of ways, getting through this year and getting through 2020 has kind of felt like an achievement or an accomplishment. And the interesting thing that I thought about as being congratulated for getting through this year is a recent study that I read in HBR, or Harvard Business Review, by Marcus Buckingham. And it was a large-scale study on resilience, where he looked at 25,000 people in 25 different countries. And he was just simply looking at what actually makes us resilient to adversity, to change, to challenge, to hardship, because it is one of those skills that really does serve us in our journey to outperform. And you know what he found? The people that are the most resilient have experienced the most adversity and the most suffering. And as I talk about this, I've said since the beginning of the pandemic, I think we're learning things about ourselves, about our teams, about our communities, about society, about the world. We're learning things throughout this time. And the interesting thing to look at resilience and the people that are the most resilient being the ones that have actually experienced the most suffering. And word for word, the article said the people that are the most resilient are the ones that have been hit full on, flat in the face with unavoidable suffering. And as I say it, do I hope that you have any amount of suffering in your life, or that you've, God forbid, lost a loved one or anything to COVID? No, I absolutely don't wish that upon anybody. But if we can maybe look for a silver lining in the gray cloud, or look for some bit of positivity or something to be able to come from this, is if you're watching this right now, is to actually know that we're not going through this, we're not going to let this crisis go to waste. This is not going to be all for naught as we go through this time. We are actually learning something from it, and it will in some way make us more resilient, make us stronger, make us better in the long run, and really serve us in our journey to outperform as we move forward. So that was the first thing that he identified. And then the second thing was, I talked about defensive pessimism a while ago, but to really look at things and to look at it as what he found with highly resilient people is that they never sugarcoated anything. If it was going to be a really tough race, if it was going to be a really long, arduous race, or something that was very trying, they just wanted to know what they were up against. And in a lot of ways in regards to this, God willing, I think things are starting to get better now, but it's to still know that we're not quite on the other side of it yet. It might take some time. We need to know what we're up against so we can mobilize our resilience and we can kind of mobilize our intestinal fortitude. And if we're able to do that, we're going to come out that much better on the other side. So again, I want to personally congratulate you for getting through 2020, because whether you speak to large groups or not, it has been one hell of a year unlike any other. And everybody, I think, has suffered in some way and has lost something or misses something during this year. And I just want to congratulate you on getting through it. So I wish you and your loved ones a very Merry Christmas, a safe and a happy holiday season and New Year. And I just want to wish you the continued best of health, happiness, high performance. Thanks for being here, and take care.